one. No,
All right. Well, let's go talk to Mr. Bagman.
Never.
She's.
We should give her Bagman's bones. That will make her happy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, his gold.
And his
No,
bones.
no. We'll take his gold, she'll get his bones.
Yes.
And some gold.
Yes.
At least enough to pay the bill.
That sounds good.
Alright.
I don't
To
like
the-
Mr. Bagman.
To the manse.
Okay, so you head off to the manor.
Is there like a carriage to take us there again?
No.
How do we get there then?
You walk.
We
Is
took
that
the
far?
carriage from our previous tavern to this town where the rose petal is. So it's just a short walk up the hill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get it now.
So yeah, that is.
How much
So
did
Oh,
you
these
drink
are
last night?
grouped. Oh.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But this should not be here because that's not part of
Yeah.
that.
Nope.
All right.
Place.
Cool. Oh yeah, lock of gold. Locks of gold. Okay, it's cool. So you head up to the manor. You knock on the door, and Mr. Bagman answers. Ah, yes, hello. Have you found a clue in your night?
We
of
don't even let him
browsing?
finish. We push our way in.
I'll
We
do it.
knock him aside.
And they say chivalry is dead.
First of all, chivalry is not a word. Number two, if you had any chivalry at all, you'd have paid your bill as you had promised.
It's simple.
The lady promised us our weight in gold for doing this, but apparently your word is empty and the house is empty. What other lies have you told us?
Well, the signet ring allows you a certain number of privileges in the town.
Yes, it allows us more than we spent last night.
Hardly.
Well, you didn't give us any sort of specific details.
Old Petalplum should have known that the signet ring only allows 100 gold per night.
Wait, per person per night or per night?
Per night.
How
I
much do you
think
have known
I think
this?
you're making up this number right now.
No.
Hey, how
that
many
is
signet
part
rings
of
do you
the
have?
deal. We have one. We use it for these things. It's also for when the Lord enters town. It's so that he does not run the town dry.
I have a strong
Well-
desire to hit this person.
Over
You may
Petalplum.
do so.
He is the one who's
These
paying
were
this.
expenses
Probably
used
Overton.
in finding information. And we found quite a
It
lot.
is not my fault that Ulra Petalplum forgot the 100 gold limit.
It is your fault you didn't tell us the limit.
You shouldn't have needed to know the limit. Because
gave
how
us
would
the-
I have known that you were going to spend 2,217 coins?
We're
Did go with
famed
nothing.
adventurers, not...
Jugo drank 200 by himself.
It was 2012. I remember the number. And then I grab Bagman and I shove him up against the wall. And I go, "You will fetch us the will. You will forget the debt. Or I will rip your bones from your body."
Okay, roll parlay plus strength. Even though that is a fighter feat, it seems good enough.
Okay.
This is clearly intimidation.
10.
All right. Well, I prefer my bones on the inside of my body.
Many
so
people do.
Fine. Follow me
I drop him to the floor.
this way, and he leads you to the depths of the manor towards a giant vault.
Yeah.
He pulls out a small golden key, opens the door, and the vault opens. And before you is plenty of gold.
Is there like
Why-
a complex mechanism that undoes itself?
So he totally didn't need this to take us to the vault. He just had to not charge her. I
Right.
don't know why we're going to the vault.
I make sure. No, I asked
Well,
him
maybe
for
the
the will.
will isn't here.
Oh, the
Yeah.
will. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
He walks over towards a little pedestal,
He went into the vault first.
Right.
Okay.
pulls out a will.
Because that would be bad if
He
he
locks
just...
you in.
Yeah.
There you are.
By just eyeballing, does it look like there's enough
Here, hold
gold
on.
here?
Let me
Like-
write it down for you.
I got the twitchy fingers.
Yeah.
So it can be-
Does it seem like there's enough gold here that this is not even a drop in the bucket in terms of paying us and like, are they so wealthy that they could easily just say, yeah, we'll
Yeah, they
pay.
could pay us like hundreds
Yeah.
of times over. Yeah.
Like, is this really a problem for them to pay that much coin?
no.
Okay. So they're just
No.
being greedy upper class pigs. Alright, cool.
We pretend to be an adventuring party, but we're actually just a wandering thieves guild.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
I should have played
we're
Thief.
just Robin
We're just
Hood.
casing out this
Yeah.
man so it's like for the operation.
Is that the will?
I cannot read these scribbles.
I was gonna say, I like how our barbarian is also our attorney. It's like,
All right. The whole estate. Oh, cover your ears, Bagman.
Yes.
wait, I thought he was the one who was in on writing
He
it.
gave
I
it to
know
him.
Cover-
what it is.
Cover your ears.
Because
Cover
I
your
wrote
ears,
it
Bagman. Get out.
for
No, don't get out of the
No, you has to stay in there. We lost
I
his-
wrote it
Alright, we'll
for
leave.
the Lord Goldtongue.
Okay. All right. The whole estate of Goldtongue will go to Rose Ericstadt.
That's correct.
Who's that?
As in the owner of the inn.
No.
No, that's Petal Plum.
Petal Plum.
Who's Rose?
We have
Have
not
we-
heard
have
this
we met
name.
this person
Rose
yet?
Petal Inn.
Okay, who is it?
This is the embarrassment of the Goldtongue house that I did not want you to know.
She's
a
a
child
bastard.
out of wedlock?
Listen, we told you we're not going to tell anybody.
She is the mistress.
Dun dun dun! Go to commercial.
We will go to commercial right now.
I know. It's like,
Dun, dun, dun.
Were you looking at the time to make sure it
Yeah.
was?
I'm just
As
gonna-
I'm sure you all know, marriage is a pretty airlock deal.
No,
Till death do you part.
that is a silly custom.
It is also incorrect.
It is
There are
alright,
plenty of
local
ways to get out of
custom.
wedlock, let me tell you.
Well, not in these times. Divorce is
Says
not
you.
really looked upon well in this kingdom. Generally, what happens...
That's why I'm married to like 6 different women.
Apparently, the nobles see it differently.
Yes. In this kingdom, generally, when a noble dies and is resurrected, you have another marriage. It's part of the resurrection festival. Brought back to life, gets to marry again. Renew the vows, if you will.
So what happens to the old wife?
this
Wait.
would explain her grief.
No, he
No,
was
you-
supposed to marry the Lady Aurella Goldtongue again.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm sure
So
you
you
can
just have another wedding with
understand
your...
After a year of that, he does
SO.
not want to.
True.
Is it the...
I guess he's not really into it, huh?
It would be the voice for me.
It would be poor
It's true.
manners of me to.
It's like the baying of hounds.
It would be poor manners of me
The
to
snapping of
explain
Small
it.
hounds.
Anyways, so myself, Lord Javen Goldtongue, and the mistress all had planned this to fake the murder of Lord Javen Goldtongue so that he would die. And when he would be resurrected, he would marry the mistress and no longer have any attachments to the Lady Aurella.
Wait,
Goldtongue.
did you mean
So-
that you
so
would
this is your
fake the
plan?
murder, or that he would truly
He would
be
actually
murdered,
die.
but you would resurrect
He
him?
faked his own murder. He did not want anyone's blood stained but his own,
Ah.
or anyone's hand stained.
So I presume the loss of the body was not part of the plan.
No, that was quite the surprise. What was supposed to have happened was he would fake a murder, stab himself a couple of times, break the window before it happens, and die. And then I would discover the corpse soon after, scream in horror. We'd get the far fellow to resurrect him.
And
He would
done
no
and
longer
done.
be married to Lady Aurella. She would be kicked out of this manor, and then he would live a happy life with the mistress Rose Ericstadt. That was the original plan.
And the three
And
of
then
you
it
were the
went
only
wrong.
ones who knew of the
We
plan.
were the only ones who knew of it.
I approve of this plan.
And should the body never be
It's a
found,
sad thing.
Money.
the mistress would still inherit.
Exactly. That is why it is imperative that you find the body so that this will never needed to be opened.
Where is the mistress?
She's in town at the inn, the Rose Petal.
Could she not have hidden the body herself to inherit the gold without
But
the
she would have
trappings?
wed him had the plan gone off anyway.
Right.
This is much, much worse for her.
Being contained within the trappings of marriage would be more confining. Yes?
But she would have legitimacy.
I do not understand.
Upon the death of the Lord, without a remarriage, she would inherit, but the lands and the titles would remain with the widow.
Jugo, to us, marrying a lord is like slaying a great beast.
Ah,
It brings much honor and glory.
I see.
Well, we should go talk to this Rosaire stuff, no? And you should have told us this sooner.
I did not want any rumors
So
of
did
the Lord Javen's infidelity.
you consider just rewriting the will? I mean, it's your handwriting anyway, right?
Sorry? You wanted me to rewrite the will? How dare you?
Well, I mean, infidelity is already illegal,
This
right?
is the law. I cannot rewrite the will.
In the
Sure,
forest,
the
things are
Lord
much more
Javen.
fluid.
Things are
Commits
pretty
the
fluid,
crime
yes.
of adultery. But that is him committing the crime. I will not commit a crime.
Haven't you broken the law by showing us this will?
Yes, but
Yes.
you kind of forced my hand.
That's true. The rest does give you
Yeah.
a lie.
Perhaps you should.
And you have to show him a card from your hand.
What? Oh, okay. Well, what is in the crypt?
That is where all the family members of Gold Tongue, when they die legitimately when it is past their time. They are buried in the crypt.
Perhaps the body is there. It is where it would belong.
Do you suppose it
Why
just
would someone
guts
murder someone
was
and then
taken?
just bring it to the crypt?
So you're telling me you haven't investigated the crypt?
Of course not, it makes no sense.
Sense isn't our department. Let's go.
To the crypt!
Wait, as long as we're back here, you know what we didn't do earlier? We were so busy following ghosts and stuff. We didn't have our ranger. Look, I mean, this is a manse in the middle of a wooded area with dirt and plants and grass and stuff like that. Someone carrying a body or dragging a body would surely have
That's a
left a
good
trail.
point. We should
Yeah.
see if
We
there's
should see
anything
which
going
way
on
they
for those
went.
dented bushes.
Or if the ghost left any tracks on the way.
Yeah.
His eyes are good.
Okay.
And my
Good
hawk's
time.
eyes are back.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you are at the area below the window looking at the bushes.
Okay.
And I want you to roll discern realities.
Okay, and I'm going to work together with my hawk, who has keen senses.
Ooh, very good. I will give you +1.
Okay. So discern reality is wisdom?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's int.
Nope. Discern realities is wisdom.
It's the one that lets you ask questions. Spout
Yeah,
lore.
yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, very
Yeah.
nice.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
like
get
13.
3 questions
Whoa.
off the list.
Okay. So the obvious one is what happened here recently.
Okay, what happened here recently? You can tell. Very easy. A body fell or was thrown out. Not sure which.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the bushes, and then something walked away.
Okay, not dragging anything.
You do not see any dragging.
Was he? Can I tell if whoever walked away was carrying a heavy load?
No.
Okay.
It would be like paces different, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you should be able to tell if
Depends on how
it's
good.
one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
What if the Lord did not die from the fall and was too weak to make his way back up the stairs? So he made his way to the crypt.
To die?
Where? Okay. So what?
It's the place his family would look for those dead.
What direction do the footsteps go?
Perhaps.
Sure. They're going up towards the crypt.
Okay.
You sneak, Hugo.
Okay. So I guess second question. What here is not as it appears to be.
Oh, that's a good point. What here is not what it appears to be. So you look at the glass configuration of how it was broken. You see the bushes. You see that it's there. You see that it looks as though the glass was bashed in from the inside out to
Okay.
create a hole for someone to jump in. Something jumped into the bushes, did not fall,
Okay.
and something walked towards the crypt after it fell, dragging 1 foot as if it were broken.
Oh.
So it does not appear as it was, and something threw it down and carried it away.
Okay. Third question. What should I be on the lookout for?
A man with a broken foot.
Man, what is
And an eye patch.
Shouldn't I be on the lookout
Space pirates.
for the living dead?
Oh.
Sorry, I have just a quick question. We rested for the night, right? So
Yeah.
Can I get my HP back? Okay, cool.
Cool. All right. So
For the
I
papers.
I
Paper ghost.
look around and sort of sniff and investigate the dent in the bushes and the tracks, get on hands and knees, and I throw Pierce up and he follows the tracks off a ways and uses his hawk senses, and I stand up and I relate what I just discovered, and I finish by saying that I believe, not quite sure how I know this, but I have a sense that this has something to do with the living dead.
What? You came to all these conclusions from looking at that bush and tasting the poop?
I am a ranger.
The final conclusion he
Not gonna let
came
it go,
from that it was impossible for someone to throw and pick him up and carry him. It must be the corpse of Gold Tongue himself that stood up and walked away.
Well, I know Ishmael has these gleans of intense wisdom.
Came to the
and-
Sherlock
I know to trust him
conclusion
on these
where
stuff.
it's, you know,
Thank you, my friend.
Every other possibility is eliminated.
yeah.
Oh, you're almost the wisest.
Would
He's
Gotung have
wise.
stabbed
Oh,
him?
he is pretty wise.
The plan was for Gotung to stab himself.
That's correct.
That is
what
not
would-
a good way to kill
What?
yourself.
Yeah, I know. What would?
Yeah.
What would have?
Taking poison.
Yeah, this whole plan about stabbing yourself multiple times and bringing then to dying at the last minute is like they didn't think this through at all.
Well, it had to look like a violent murder, right?
Yes,
So-
it's like they definitely should have come up with something a little bit more.
A violent murder, and then he
The,
just happens to like marry someone else when he. Gets...
Lord Javen wanted it to look real and legitimate, and he felt poison would have been cheap.
No, that is fair.
He probably just wanted to see what stabbing himself.
So in the lore, is there any
He's a
information that
crazy
says
fool.
that a person who dies violently rises like with the causes of undeath are they?
Oh, okay.
Is there lore that talks about like
That sounds like spout lore to me,
all right,
and it looks very relevant to your field. Get a
It
+1.
oh excellent,
Sweet.
that is a 4.
Still not a lot about
Of
spirits.
course not. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Well, yeah.
Let's see.
We should start asking those people. The
Cleric
ranger, he
knows very
clearly
little
knows
about
everything.
Clerical.
I'm not that kind of cleric.
An unwelcome truth.
Does our ranger know turn undead?
Nope.
That's why I do turn undead, because I don't know anything about them and I find them disturbing.
Undead.
it's like, get away from me. You're not from the Aboriginal realms.
Let's see, an unwelcome truth.
I'm not really a very good cleric. I know.
You already know that.
My
by
therapist
now.
tells me that all the time. But
Maybe you should think about like a different line of work.
You're not a cleric by
Yeah,
reading
paladin
books.
pays
You're a cleric by doing action.
yes, I'm the kind of cleric who like looks through portals and eats the hearts of liches and stuff like that. It's like it wasn't that I found clericism. It's like clericism found me.
Okay.
Every
Uh,
class of James Lee plays.
all right,
Eats
so
hearts of liches.
The
Sounds more
unwelcome
like a
truth
cult
is
of-
that if
I get
this
a lot of
body has
templates.
risen, other bodies might have as well.
Hmm. Okay.
That
I was hoping for something like, oh, I shouldn't have picked the cursed dagger of Hartoteph as the one that I stabbed myself with. It's like you were supposed to have
Oh,
used that
shit.
dagger. Oh my gosh, you picked the wrong
but it was
dagger.
the prettiest dagger. It had the most jewels on it.
Yes.
It's like a leather case, and it's like normal dagger, jeweled dagger, curved cultist dagger.
Yes. It's like in his panic he grabbed the wrong one. It's like-
Panic. Oh no, I'm running out of time.
No,
This
it's
one
like
looks like it'll hurt the most when I stab myself with it.
no, it's like those Simpsons episodes where Homer has 3 buttons. They're all clearly labeled. He's like, It's like- All
All
right.
right. So that's the unwelcome.
So, by the way, the murder weapon is gone as well, right?
That's right.
See? Curved cultist dagger. Otherwise, it would have been underground. Take the dagger with you. Unless he's like one of those crazy people who stabbed himself in the back and he can't reach it, and like the dagger's just stuck in.
Why did I do this?
Okay, so let's reconstruct real quick. So he stabbed himself to death, woke up as a zombie, jumped out the window, landed in the bushes, and then shuffled off towards the crypt with a broken foot. Is more or less what we're getting out of it.
He must have been a fairly like well thought zombie because he didn't like zombie out. He's like, I'm gonna break this window, then I'm gonna jump out.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
So
he had.
maybe it was like while he was turning or something like that.
There's got to be
Thrown out
something
the
that caused the zombification.
Yeah.
It's not like he just died and that's just what happened.
Like he sensed it
no,
coming. It's
my-
like, oh my gosh.
My guess is he was still alive and like went towards the crypt, and then maybe the crypt already had zombies, and then he got eaten by a zombie.
Well, clearly, you were
I
right
don't
that we
think-
need to go check up the
Yeah.
crypt.
We need to go check it.
Yeah, I think that's got to be our next stop.
Yes.
Pierce, to me. Looting. I mean, investigation.
Yes.
All right.
Good old lady.
Master Bagman is very distraught by this news, and that his
Did
plan
they
has.
told him?
He was followed you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You seem to know a lot about the law. What does the law say should undeath be the outcome?
It says till death do you part. So right now, they're not married.
Well,
Okay.
wait, death is not undeath. They're
But-
different.
Yeah.
Do you have to go through death
Well-
before you get to undeath? How do these things work?
Yes.
And yeah, it's unclear. And the lawyers argue about this all the time. It's like,
As far as my understanding of the rules is that when you die, there's that 4-day layaway period where it's assumed that the will, pass down things to the wife. But of course, in this case, it didn't happen. So technically, the assets are technically frozen.
Oh, is that why they
So
won't pay the
that,
tavern bill?
One of the reasons why I couldn't, pay the large bill.
Why have you put your gold in ice? This was a silly thing to do.
why would you want to run your finger across your throat?
What?
Nothing flies over my head.
Too fast. Okay.
I would catch it.
So I mean, wedding is nullified, and then in undeath you're brought back to life, but only halfway. It's not real life. So the
Yeah.
interpretation.
Okay, listen,
of the law-
Bagman, you figure out the implications. We'll
Yeah, yeah.
go.
Yeah, you
Lots
stay.
of
You
law
stay
books.
here. We will
Yeah.
investigate.
Yes, we're off to the crypt. By the way, is there anything we need to know before we go this time, since you seem to occasionally forget pieces of information? When we get to the crypt, are we going to need a key? Is there a trap?
Are we
Is
gonna
it
need
cursed?
like a?
You want to go into the Gold Tongue's tomb?
Well, we're not
Yes.
sure, but
We
our friend Ishmael tells us the tracks seem to head in that direction.
Pulls out a small.
Did you
silver
speak
key.
to your lord at all about the crypt? Was the crypt at all involved in the
In
plan?
this key, you see that no, the key has a rose petal on the end, or a tulip petal,
Like
Oh.
in gold,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
in silver actually.
Yeah, look,
Does it look like it's
Predates.
super old? Like it's
Yeah,
been around for a
very
long
old,
time?
very old. Yes, this tomb predates the Gold Tongue name.
Oh, okay.
crypt's got to be older than like 100 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
There must be a fair amount of bones.
So
in
they
the earth.
renamed the crypt along with everything else.
I guess so.
No, Jugo, these bones are not for you.
100 years ago, they did a rebranding. as soon as
That's
they
what you
got
say.
But all their ancestors in the crypt are still named Petal Plum, right?
gold. I mean,
Past
some.
that.
Yeah.
No bones are for me.
Hmm.
I set the spirits free by carving the bones.
Let's just go to the crypt and not.
Yes.
We'll,
Onward
we'll,
to the bones.
we'll play it by ear.
By year?
Okay. So you start heading towards the crypt.